So some of you might have watched my video on making the rack for my Royal Enfield 500 Classic. And I got the rack finished, mounted, but the thing is there's a little too much flex. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it's a combination of the mounting point being right here for the rack, the two bolts here, plus the extra bolt that I added here to the back of the pillion frame. Those are all good and solid mounts, but they're just too far back, and with the combination of the most rearward point of mount for the pillion frame is right here at the shock. So you've got all of this that hangs out behind there, and then when I add this other 15 inches or so of leverage on the back, it just makes it way too much flex. And so I can imagine with a passenger back here and the top case with something in it, it's going to just be way too soft. So I have a solution for that, and I think it's going to be a real good one. I wanted to make it so that I could leave the seat on and just have the rack permanently mounted there, but that's not going to work. So I have a solution, and I'll show you what that's going to be. Okay, so I've removed the rear rack and the top box mount and the pillion frame. So here you can see how I previously had the seat mounted to the pillion frame. I have a 6mm bolt here, here, and here, and these are set into rivet nuts, much like this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up these holes in the pillion frame. This is my plan. I'm going to open up this hole in the pillion frame to make a keyhole opening, and then I'm going to change this mount from here and probably have the seat bolt to one of these here, or to this bolt back here in the back, right? Or I added this rivet nut, just like what's in the seat. I drilled that out and pulled that rivet nut in there. So I haven't decided just yet which way I'm going to go with it, but I'll see. But the end result's going to be, it's only going to be one or two bolts that are accessible from the outside, either on here or this one back here, and then this will just be a keyhole slot where the seat or the rack, depending on what I'm going to put in there, what I need, whether I need to take a passenger or whether I need to put the top box on. And that'll be a quick release, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so here I've got I rounded off the corners on this so we didn't get stabbed when we go to mount it on. And I've got the seat frame temporarily mounted on here. And just to show you how easy this is going to work, this will drop down here. The tab will go under there. It slides forward, and that's it. All I have to do is come down here and put the 6mm bolt in there on each side, tighten it up, and that seat's on. And to remove the seat, just take the two bolts out, pull, and lift. So that'll be all there'll be to that. Now to do the mounting bracket for my top box, it was a little more complicated and took a lot more thought for my little brain anyway. And so I come up with this idea. I made this metal plate, and where you see the lines here by my thumb, those lines are going to be, I'm going to cut that out so that tab that goes in the seat, or that goes on the seat, that goes under the front here, so that tab will drop down into that hole that's left in there. But because this plate is going to be welded in place like that, and little more evenly, of course. Yeah, pretty much like that. And it'll be even side to side. So I'm gonna grind the paint off here, these places, weld this in place. And then what I'll do is I will take the mounting bracket, and this is going to take some experimentation to find the exact spot and adjustment and alignment and all that to get this box on squared. But then I'll find holes. I'll drill holes through here and weld the nut to the back side of the hole so that there's no way somebody can come from underneath and remove the nut. The bolts will come in from the top and the box will be on it. Okay, so I've got the piece that's going on the rear seat frame. I've got that center section cut out like I showed you, and I went ahead and made a little tab to fill in that gap there in the middle. And so I welded that in. I just need to grind it all down smooth, and then the next step will be to prepare and weld up the rear seat frame. Okay, so here's the plate welded in place. Hasn't been ground down yet, and you can see I touched it up. I put some welds on underneath side a little bit. It's going to take a bit to cool off, and then I got to grind off the welds, smooth it out a little bit, and get some paint back on it. And we'll be ready to mount the bracket for the top box. Well, as promised, here's the mounting bracket, the rear seat frame all welded up. Got the nuts welded to the back, and you can see where the bolts fit in there. I'm kind of setting this in place temporarily so you can see it without moving. And so these bolts here will screw in and out down through the mounting bracket. One bolt will sit here, and one here, and one here. Yeah, I've got some marking paint on there, but not going to worry about it. And I even took the little Allen wrench that they provided, and I welded a T-handle on it so that I can put these bolts in and take them out easily enough and keep that T-bracket or T-handle on the bike. That way it's always available if I need to change something out. All right, let me get it all mounted up and I'll show you how it works. Okay, just had to lift the seat up a little bit. But you can see now, it's tightening up. And we come back and tighten the other side. There. See there? That seat's as solid as a rock. Not moving anywhere. So, next I'll take the seat off. Same process, removing these two bolts. There. Back over to the other side. Set the bolt tears tool. And this is how difficult it is to get the seat off. And there, seat's off. Set that over here. Now we get the top box mount. I know I said earlier that probably go with 4 bolts, but There were 3 real convenient spots here, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere with 3 bolts. So 3 it was. There's one. Two. 3. We'll start with this one. We'll go easy, make sure it's not frost. And get the top box lined up. And the little buttons. I believe that's what they're called. And there, top box is mounted. No wiggle. Probably 10 times as solid as the last rig I had, but this one is the final rig. Now my next project, I've got in the box over there, I've got the 2 panniers to go on the sides. My next project will be build racks for those, and I'll be ready to take it and go just about anywhere I want to go. Okay, so there you've seen my trial and error method of building the rack for the top box. A lot of the guys on the Royal Enfield forum suggested that it needed to be over the rear axle, and I knew ideally that was the way it needed to be, but I thought I could make the other one work, and I probably still could have if I had wanted to put a bracket on here, but that's going to be, I'll probably end up needing to use that spot for the pannier rack. So we'll see how that goes, and this is going to work out okay because probably wouldn't be riding 2 up, and there's no place to put the helmets for 2 people anyway. So okay, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm not doing this for any money. I'm just doing this to hopefully help somebody else that wants to put some real hard luggage on the Royal Enfield. And for me, it makes it a lot more useful, a lot more practical bike. And I appreciate you checking in on this. Have a good day.